Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lion's Den. In this episode, we take on board your suggestions, and it was incredibly overwhelming the amount of suggestions I got. I've narrowed it down to 6 players that I think we're going to go after in this transfer window. A number of you said we should bring the legend, the Aston Villa legend, Gareth Barry, back to the club. He's 35. I know he's probably contemplating retirement at the end of this season, but we could bring him back and he could be part of getting this great club back into the Premier League. That would be one hell of a story. The next player is actually a former Aston Villa player as well, Stephen Davis. He spent a short time at the club before we moved him on. He's also quite old. He's 31, but he does not lack experience, and you can see his stats are absolutely exceptional. We also had a number of suggestions for Charlie Adam, who's also in his 30s. So there is a little bit of a trend developing here. Charlie Adam, he's 30 years old. We don't know his actual stats, but we know that Charlie Adam has a rocket left boot. He's a pretty good pass, and he's a really good tackle, so he might be able to muck in on the inside. And another one that we had was an interesting one with Barzoa. He's a real young gun. He's only 19 years old. He might be a better one for the future, but he still is a little bit of a relatively unknown commodity. So it'll be interesting to see what they get, what they ask for him. I'm going to scout all of these players, of course, to see where they come up. And another one that got multiple mentions was Ravel Morrison. This one really piqued my interest because I really enjoy a good, creative central attacking midfielder. I really feel like that can be a huge asset to the team, and Ravel Morrison certainly fits that bill. The next one and the final one that we're going to look at here is Bakali. This guy has enormous potential, and he could be one for the future as well. I do feel like we need another quick winger because we're playing McCormack out on the left at the moment. And we've got Albert Adoma. But aside from that, we really don't have any pacey players out wide. Any blokes who can cross the ball in to our big man in Gested. He's the guy that we want to focus on, is Rudy Gested. If we can get the ball to his head, then I think we can score a lot of goals with him. He and Kodja as well. They need good supply. So that's why I'm going to look at Zakaria Bakali, because I think he could be one of those really good creative players. So we just have a quick look at our objectives overview before we get into the games for this episode. We are 10% into our 20% increasing of the club value, so that should be an absolute no-brainer, no problem there. I think just a heap of good performances should be able to get that up. And of course, 10.2 million earnings from shirt sales. Hopefully, when we make a signing, hopefully in this episode, that the shirt sales will go up, because we'll hopefully be bringing in either Gareth Barry, we'll be bringing in Charlie Adam, or we will be bringing in someone like Ravel Morrison. These kind of guys, hopefully a few of their shirts can sell. So a quick look at the table here. Newcastle United are on top. They've won their first 2 games, and then you've got Nottingham Forest, Norwich, Preston, Brentford, Brighton, ourselves, Rotherham United, and Bristol City, all on 4 points. So obviously tied at the top. We've only played 2 games. Let's crack on and play some more. Well, Aston Villa have had an undefeated start to their championship season, the first one in 30 years. Villa Park is jam-packed here tonight under a cloudy Birmingham sky, and this should be an interesting clash. The whole tent is alive with action as we have a look at the Aston Villa team. And you can see Mark Bunn replaces Pierluigi Golini in goal, with a back 4 of Bakuna, Baker, Richards, Sissoko, with a midfield trio of Gardner, Jedinak, Westwood, Adoma and Green in the wide positions, with Jonathan Kodja making another start up front for Aston Villa. The team for Huddersfield, Hefeli, Hudson, Smith and Lowe make up the back 4. A former Aston Villa player, Jonathan Hogg, plays in midfield. Plays it, Albert Adoma. Now Adoma has the cannonballing. Leandro Bakuna here, who slides it through. Here's Jonathan Kodja on the inside, needs the run. It's Green! It's a wonderful finish. And the young man has taken his opportunity on the big stage. He gets his first start of the season green. Gets put through by a brilliantly weighted Codger ball and makes no mistake on the left boot. Aston Villa off to a flyer yet again. Keeper no chance. And that is the ideal start. It's 1-0. Lolly still down from that challenge from Richards. Palmer staying on the ball here. Ducking and weaving. Chance here for Lowe. Falls to Lee, who turns and shoots and puts it just wide. Played to Westwood. Needs a runner. Has it. It's Adoma. It's Albert Adoma! Oh, but it's just wide. And Aston Villa are playing absolutely exceptional football through the midfield, just curling away. Keeper was nowhere near it. So now Whitehead, Smith, the inside, Lowly. He's got a little bit of a space here. It's fallen to Lee again on the left, and Bunn makes a good save. And now it's fallen to Whitehead, now Hogg. Now it's with Palmer. Coming across Richards, trying to close him down, but Palmer got the shot away. And Huddersfield have had the better of the latter part of this half, that is for sure. Palmer's effort, low and hard, but Bunn was all over it. Ollie, well done. Gardner, absolutely brilliant challenge. Gardner slides it through. Jonathan Codger! And Aston Villa, as easy as that, have taken a 2-0 lead. It was terrible defending. They mucked around with the ball in midfield. Gary Gardner was the one who turned it over, slid it through for Jonathan Codger. And Aston Villa just might be home and dry. Wonderful finish across the face. Nothing the keeper can do. It's terrible defending. It's Aston Villa 2, Huddersfield 0. Bakuna, now he's lost it, too slow on the ball here. Now here's Bunn, needs to be more decisive this time, and was. Bakuna's taken him down after the fact, and that could be the end of Leandro Bakuna's day, and it certainly is. It's a red card for Leandro Bakuna with 15 minutes left to play. It was another reckless challenge. He doesn't seem happy, but you can definitely say it was there. He slides in again, doesn't get any of the ball, and Leandro Bakuna gets his marching orders. Plays it now to Codger. Codger needs a runner. It arrives. It's Richie Delat. Are they going to keep going forward here? Richie Delat's gone all the way. It's a wonderful run. And what a way to finish off the game. The substitute, Richie Delat, gets himself on the board as well. It's a wonderful run out wide. They are just left running all over the place, the Huddersfield defence. And Richie Delat slots it under the goalkeeper and compiles the misery for Huddersfield. It's 3-0. Aston Villa really flexing their muscle here in the championship now. Richie Delat gets on the board late as a substitute for the red-carded Leandro Bakuna. At full time, it's Aston Villa 3, Huddersfield 0. So our inquiry about Charlie Adam has come back. They said they would consider a bid in the region of 4.1 million. I'm sure we could get him for about 3.5, maybe even a little bit less if we offered that for Charlie Adam. The next one we'll have a look at is Zakaria Bakali, and at £5.5 million, I feel like that could be a good piece of business for Bakali. He has enormous upside, and he will give us that width that we do need. Our inquiry for Ravel Morrison has been met with an enormous price tag of £14.5 million. Could maybe throw a player in there as well. We may have a look at Ravel as well. But now we've got Barzoa, and he's £14.5 million as well. So obviously these two with pretty big upside, and they're younger, so they have a little bit more in the tank, are obviously going to cost you a lot more. I feel like 14.5 in our situation is probably a little bit rich, considering we have other reasonable options as well. One of them being, of course, Stephen Davis, who Southampton are asking for £8 million. So that wouldn't be too bad. I think Stephen Davis could really slot in beside Jedinak in that midfield position and really offer something as well. And of course, the legend the Aston Villa legend, long-time captain, Gareth Barry, they would consider a bid in the region of 3.1 million. We could get him on a pre-contract, but I feel like Gareth Barry is probably going to retire before the end of next year, at the end of next year. So I think if we want to get Gareth Barry in, we would need to have him come in right now, because I think this might be one of his last seasons. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an offer for Zakaria Bakali, and I am going to offer them £4.3 million. So it's a little bit under. He's a squad rotation player where he is at the moment, but he does have enormous upside. So £4.3 million for him. And we had multiple comments saying we should get Stephen Davis in. So what I'm going to do is maybe offer them £6.5 million as a little bit of a feeler. And if we can get these two players for those fees, then we might be able to see what we have left to have a look at Ravel Morrison. And so we haven't heard anything back from our transfers, so we'll go in and play the next game away against Derby County, and then we'll come back with more transfer activity. Let's go. Well, the last time these two sides met, it was Aston Villa winning 5-0 in Derby County's worst Premier League performance in their club's history and in the Premier League's history. Aston Villa almost matched that last season. So these are two sides that know all too well the rigours of Premier League football. As we have a look at the Derby County side, Scott Carson is in goal. And up front is Vierda, Ince and Camara will play in the wide positions. He will be in the anchor of midfield. Aston Villa's team, Pierluigi Golini comes back in goal. A back four of Amavi, Chester, Baker and Dalat. And Shabola, Grealish and Jedinak make up a midfield trio looking to supply front man Rudy Gested. So Adoma plays it to Gested. Shows nice feet there. And then puts through Adoma. Adoma's shot! Just wide. Excellent effort from Albert Adoma. He's having a wonderful season so far for Aston Villa. Nice back heel there, Bryson. And now through is Camara. Try to get the cross in. Dalat left in. And Derby County have opened the scoring. It's a wonderful goal. It's a wonderful take. Nathan Baker does well to get there. Dalat misses the challenge, and then bottom corner. Vedra able to put it away. And Derby County have sucker punched Aston Villa here. It's 1-0. Here's Albert Adoma. He's got the runner here in Grealish. Wonderful misdirection there. Grealish plays it back. And it's Rudy Gested with the first time shot. And it doesn't get any better than that. Seamless play through the midfield for Aston Villa. And there is a stunned silence around this stadium, because Aston Villa, with wonderful passing, you can see Grealish here cuts the ball back, and then the first time shot is absolutely flawless from Rudy Gested. He'll never hit one better than that. Curling away from the keeper. Comes across, Grealish played it forward. Here's Shabola. Shabola's ball, it's Gested again! And it's come off the woodwork. Unlucky not to lead now, Villa. Plays it on the inside. Now here is Albert Adoma. Now they have a runner here out wide, and it's Jordan Amavi who's found himself in acres of space here. Jordan Amavi's going to go all the way, and it's come off the bar. And has it gone in? It has not. Oh, that must have been tight. It's come off the post, and Jordan Amavi was so close there. Good defence there from Chester. Picked up by Ince. Ince on the inside. And it's a wonderful finish from Tom Ince. And this game has come to life. Excellent feat from the youngster. And Tom Ince is able to finish absolutely sublimely. Look at him take it on the inside. And the left-footed shot beats Golini. It's a wonderful second goal for Derby, and they take the lead. It's 2-1. It may not matter here. Hughes, well done Shabola, but now it's Russell, and he just skies it over the top. Possessing the ball brilliantly well here, Derby. They've been the better team, and they've proven that all the way to the end. It's Tom Ince's sensational goal that separates the two teams at full time, and Derby County would consider that a pretty big scalp. Aston Villa will be asking themselves plenty of questions, but at full time, it's Derby County 2, Aston Villa 1. So just before we head into the final game of the episode, guys, we'll have a look at this. They said the transfer offer we put up was unacceptable, so we're going to bow to their demands. We're going to go £5.5 million. I think that is an absolute steal for this young guy, Zakaria Bakali. Let's get him in. And our offer for £6.5 million for Stephen Davis has been accepted. He wants £60,000 a week. We'll give him that, no problems at all. Put him on a 2-year contract, and he will definitely be an important first-team player. We might even just chuck him 10% per goal if he can snag a couple. It looks as though Stephen Davis could seriously be on the cards. And Stephen Davis has declined our contract offer, but that's fine. He wants to be a crucial first-team player. We can definitely make that happen because that is where he will be playing. 2 years, 10%. Let's offer him that one. And Valencia have accepted our £5.5 million offer as we matched their valuation for 20-year-old Zakaria Bakali. So we are going to sign this kid up. We're going to offer him squad rotation player. If he doesn't accept that, I'm happy to offer him important first-team player, but we may as well go in low just so he doesn't get disappointed if he doesn't get as many games as we would hope he does. And so we are into round 2 of the EFL Cup, and we have drawn none other than Chelsea. So we are going to play this game, and then next episode we'll find out if we make those signings. So let's get right into this game against Chelsea. So Stamford Bridge is the venue, the EFL Cup is the destination. Aston Villa with a brief foray back to where they are used to being, and that is in the top flight of English football. The Chelsea side as strong as ever. They have made a number of changes though to their side. They have Jamie Vardy up top, who of course signed for Leicester City. We've got Willian and Alonso, Matic, Mikel, Kante making up the midfield. The Aston Villa lineup have made a couple of changes, namely Tommy Elphick is back in the team in the back four alongside James Chester, Jedinak Shabola and Jordan Ayew playing up in the central attacking midfield position. Out to outclass and outmuscle Aston Villa, but the game as it played on paper here is Jamie Vardy here early, and it's still with Jamie Vardy, who's gone straight through and made an absolutely enormous impact straight away. Jamie Vardy scores for Chelsea, and this place erupts. They couldn't handle him, cut on the inside of Chester, and then put it away like only Jamie Vardy can. What a start to this game. Golini relaxed quite slowly, but it's Jamie Vardy who opens the scoring. Now here it is with Amavi. What can he do here? Jordan Amavi took his man on, did absolutely brilliantly, and Amavi's cross is pretty good. Gaston won it down. Can Shabola get it in? I think he has. It's gone in, and Aston Villa have levelled the scores. Shabola, it wasn't as pretty as the Vardy goal, that is for sure. But Shabola has managed to just tumble it over, and it's been deemed a goal. Begovic did his best, but it's clearly over the line. And Aston Villa have levelled the scores immediately. It's 1-1. Here's Willian now. Willian with the pace. Elphick trying to track him. Chester got a boot to it, but it fell to Marcos. Trying to fight with him is Delat. They're trying to get rid of it. Vardy turns brilliantly. And Jamie Vardy has pulled one out of the hat here. Absolutely incredible. What a finish from Jamie Vardy. 2 goals for him in the opening 15 minutes. Aston Villa did their best to clear it. They'll be asking questions of each other. They couldn't keep it away from Vardy, who turned, and then look at the finish. Just knows where the goals are. And Jamie Vardy is having a party. It's 2-1. Vardy again. The dangerous Jamie Vardy. Now it's Willian. Getting across, Tommy Elphick missed the tackle. Willian, they're in all kinds of trouble. Galini saves, but the man on the outside, Marcos, sends it in. Mamavi clears, well done. Plays it forward. Gested sees the run of Jedinak, who has the overlap run here of Adoma. And Adoma, can he get the cross in? He does! And it's Rudy Gested! I simply don't believe it! Aston Villa have levelled the scores right on half-time. What a game this is becoming. It was wonderful build-up play, and the ball from Adoma was right on the money. And Rudy Gested doesn't miss those. It's 2-2. As far as Jedinak, who plays it in, it's Jordan Ayew, and it's a wonderful save from Asmir Begovic. And now here's McCormack again, gonna send it in, it's Gested again, and Begovic forced to save, Begovic into a double save, incredible. Ayew wins it down again, Shabola, he's been a wonderful presence in midfield for Villa, now it's gone through, Ayew in a good position, it's Rudy Gested, oh wonderful save again from Begovic. And this looks like it might be heading for extra time unless Willian can do something brilliant here. Willian running all the way down the wing, gets the cross in, Dalat the only man there. Now it's with Westwood. Can Aston Villa provide something here? McCormack tried to get it forward, but it's going to be all square at the conclusion of regular time. We will head to extra time. Willian's been a real problem for them. Sliding in, just managed to slow him down, but Willian's ball, dangerous Fabregas, straight at Galini. Here's Diego Costa. The cream just starting to rise to the top a little bit. Costa's ball saved by Galini, and that will do all of the extra time. It heads to penalties. So it'll be Eden Hazard to take the first one for Chelsea. Galini and Hazard. And Hazard. And it's Jordan Ayew who puts it to the right. It's now Cesc Fabregas. Fabregas now versus Galini. And he goes the same way as Hazard. It's Ross McCormack. And that's in the roof of the net. Galini versus Costa. And that's a very calm penalty from Diego Costa. Now it's Gary Gardner. He shot it straight at Begovic. And it's saved. Chelsea in the box seat. David Luiz takes it expertly. It all comes down to this. Jordan Amavi for Aston Villa. Slots it in. Excellent penalty. Can Galini be the hero? It's Nemanja Matic to win the game for Chelsea. Nemanja Matic. Oh, Galini saved it, but it went in the net. Aston Villa unlucky on the day. But it's Chelsea who move on in the cup through penalties. They were sternly tested by this championship outfit, but ultimately showed their class. Galini guessed the right way, saved it into the net. Unlucky for Aston Villa, but they can take a hell of a lot from this game. There is no question. And at the conclusion, it's Chelsea moving on via penalties. For Murph's YT13, as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.